Good morning, everyone. Welcome to my channel again. Today we're going to be talking about some of the signs of fibromyalgia, some of the things that happen with RA, but we're also going to be talking about some crochet projects that I have been working on, and I hope you get a little bit of laugh out of this because I'm not saying I'm a good crocheter. I just love to do the act of crocheting, the art. When it comes to fibro, a lot of people will look at you and don't understand the extreme pain that you're in. But not only don't they understand the pain, they don't understand the fatigue. And I'm not talking about being everyday tired. I mean, there are things that make you exhausted in life. Just working sometimes, having 3 or 4 children running around all day and all night. Different things in life make you tired. But when you experience that fatigue, that feeling of nothing can move, can't lift my arms, I can't take a step, I can't do anything, I just want to breathe and find out why I just don't feel like getting up. And people look at you and say, you're just lazy. No, fatigue is an extreme exhaustion, along with extreme pain. Then comes not only the exhaustion that no one gets, but then comes the anxiety because you're embarrassed. You don't want people to think you don't want to try. You don't want people to look at you and say, well, there's nothing wrong with her. She just wants some attention. Well, no, there's a lot wrong. And there's a lot of things that don't fix fibro. Sometimes it goes into remission, but very seldomly, as I said last time. But the depression and the anxiety that go along with the fatigue and pain are something that people just do not understand. And I share that with you knowing what that's like, trying to explain to a boss, a best friend, husband, friend, spouse, doesn't matter. Your kids, why today you just can't go run outside for 2 hours? It's rough. But like everything else, with this illness, with RA, lupus, all the other autoimmune illnesses, you have to find a way to accept it first. Secondly, to survive with it. So if you're having a fibromyalgia flare-up right now, or your RA is flaring, or your lupus is really bad right now, or whatever one of these illnesses you have, psoriatic arthritis, just to name a few, just please know that you're not alone. Like I said, I want everyone out there to tell everyone that they're not alone, that we get this. And all I hope is that today, for just a few minutes, as you watch me with my crazy crochet stuff, that you can smile. I just hope you can smile. Today is a day of remembrance for another generation. Today is the remembrance of Holocaust, the most horrific killing of innocent people that I can even imagine. There's no way to say how sad it makes me, and how sad it makes me that another generation is not learning that this was true and this was evil and this was wrong. Hatred is never acceptable. I don't care the color of your skin, the color of your eyes, your faith. It's wrong. We were all human beings. We all live a life we hope will be decent and good, with family and friends and jobs and different things, and we don't have the right to slaughter people. I pray for our country every day that this hatred that's coming out in the killing and stabbing of Jewish people in their synagogues and in their homes, and all these evil things happening in the name of some other belief, stops. It's time to stand up again, America. We waited a long time to go into World War II because it wasn't our fight. And millions died. May we never again sit back and fail anyone else. It is never right in any country for people to be slaughtered in the name of a government, in the name of a religion, for any reason. And we, as the people of the United States of America, who say one nation under God, must stand up against it wherever it's at, and especially when it raises its evil head here in our country. My prayer for all today in this country is that we will really understand that hatred cannot work. We will not allow it. We will love in spite of how others react. We will care and we will be compassionate, and we will try to reach out to all who are in need. Now that we've remembered that horrible moment, let us talk about the silliness of my crocheting. Now, I told you last time about a channel that I watch on YouTube, which is Bag O' Day Crochet. And Crystal has some awesome patterns. And I saw a pattern for this cardigan sweater for a man. And my husband, it was in need of a heavier sweater. And I wanted to try my hand. Well, she had 3 sizes, and the biggest size, she said, was extra large. And I thought, well, that should fit. But her husband's skinnier than my husband and younger than my husband and younger than me. Now, will extra large work? Well, I should have listened to her. She knows what she's talking about. I enlarged it. It's about a 4 extra large. It's way too big. But what I enjoy doing with it is, because my husband doesn't have a left arm, I left this sleeve very short, and I will sew this up so the air doesn't get in there. And when he puts it on at night, when he's cold, it keeps his nub from getting super cold. I made this leap in making it too big. I made this sleeve way too long. He doesn't have 6-foot arms, I'm sorry to say. I definitely misjudged. So I will be taking out the cuff. Yeah, redoing half of this sleeve and making it a little less tight around his wrist, and definitely not as long as it goes down to his knuckles or the tip of his fingers. But it's a beautiful pattern. Please look it up on her website. It is absolutely a beautiful, beautiful pattern, and it's not hard. I'm the one that makes it hard because I think I can extend a pattern to make it longer or smaller, do whatever. And every time I do, I forget that I have a tendency to make the stitches a little bit too big in the middle or a little tight at the end. And I forget where the edges are because I forget to put on a stitch marker. And so my work kind of goes like this up through. And for those of you that are learning to crochet, that does happen. So take my advice. Follow the tutorials, follow the pattern. You will find it'll work better and you'll have more success at it. And she has done some beautiful work on there. And like I said, Creative Grandma, Secret Yarnery, Be Wild Crochet, Jada in Stitches. There are so many people on YouTube that have beautiful patterns. Some of them also deal with RA and Fibro every day, so they understand. And it's amazing to follow them and to listen to what they do. I also had told you I was trying to do an Afghan for my son for his home. And I've done some of it, but what I found is I don't like the feel of this yarn. And I want you to understand, I am not a sponsor of any type of yarn. No, I'm telling you what I've been using, then you can make your own judgment. But the Red Heart Super Saver that I use a lot, but this is the ombre. For some reason, these skeins of yarn feel very rough when you're working with them. And because my hands are dry due to the winter weather here, it wasn't feeling right, and it didn't want to come out right. And so I just stopped. I love doing the double crochets and the front double crochets, front post double crochets, because they make a beautiful ridge on that. But I can't do it anymore right now because I don't like the feel of the yarn. So I asked my dear husband yesterday if we could go and buy some other yarn for my son's Afghan. I went to and bought Premier Puzzle yarn. I love this. I've worked with this. I have a big sweater that I made too big, but I love it. It's in navy blue colors. And so I decided to get this. And I started to do a different pattern with it. But then I said, nah, I'll just go back to Granny Square. And when I get this put together right, it'll look right, I hope. And if it doesn't, it will be more of an oblong piece of work rather than a square. But that's okay, because it's the love that you put in your effort that is really the whole thing. This part of this is it's a bulky weight, 5. But I like it because I can use it easier. I can use a larger hook that doesn't hurt my hand. It works up very quickly because it is bulky, and it's super, super soft. And when I wash this, after I finish this, it will be even softer. It's amazing yarn to use, at least to me. And it's 100% acrylic. It is machine washable and machine dryable. And that's why I use it. I don't want to have something that I have to wash by hand or I have to fix in a certain way. It's too much for me. Maybe not for you. And if you like the other things, great. Use it. Find what you love. Find what makes you happy during the day. Find a way to start something. Even if it's sitting and praying for 10 minutes, or maybe it's just finding something silly to laugh at. Look out the window. It may be raining where you're at. It may be snowing where you're at. I don't know. Here we actually had a little bit of sun a few minutes ago, and we're going to have more rain tomorrow. But I found something to smile at. Our granddaughter came by this morning with her mama, and bless her little heart, she was being silly and at the table, and when I put her coat on, her mama said, go give Papa a hug and tell him bye. No. And Papa said, okay, come on. And Mama said, not until you say goodbye. Well, she started to slide her feet and walk real slow, looking at Papa straight ahead, trying not to laugh at him. And so I step up beside her and I say, and I'm sliding my feet, and I say, I bet I can get there first. Well, she sped up quite a bit. She grabbed him and hugged him and made sure he gave her a kiss, and then she wiped the kiss off. And she came and gave me a hug and a bye and a wave. Bye, see you later. And we both laughed. And we both smiled. The day doesn't have to be bad. I have a little dog that runs in and out and barks. Ugh. But she makes me smile because she sits beside me even when I feel really awful. Today is a okay day. Tomorrow, I don't know. But I'm not going to worry about tomorrow. This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Today, even if you're not a person of faith, because that's how you are, and that's fine. No, this is your day. If you have to cry, cry. If you have to punch a hole in a wall, punch a hole in a wall. But remember, it's going to make your hand hurt worse. Mine doesn't open any more than that. So trust me, it'll hurt. But find a moment to smile at something. The bird outside that is feeding. The cardinals now are in our trees looking for seeds. Look outside and look at the snow and just think how amazing that is. Look outside, and if you're on the beach, look at that gorgeous ocean. Think of the sand and how much fun you used to have, and building sand castles and riding in the sand when it was wet, and maybe digging clams like I got to do one time as a kid. Whatever brings you happiness and joy. I hope that today you will find that moment. I'll be back again in a few days to show you some different things that I'm doing with crochet and other types of activities besides making jewelry and using knitting machines and knitting looms. We have all sorts of things to talk about. Know I understand. If you can't smile today, know you're loved. Know you're prayed for. And somebody understands, really understands. Have a great day. See you later. Bye.